Hey, what's going on, guys? Hope everybody's doing well and having a great day. In this video, I want to revisit a couple of videos just briefly that I shared with you guys yesterday. Number one, this fiery object in the nighttime sky. I found out the location of that fiery object, and I also want to revisit the video that was submitted by Scott involving this mysterious star that he noticed from Shelton, Connecticut. We'll come back and take a look at those and the new information that I have to go along with those videos here in just a moment. Also, we're going up to the International Space Station. I've titled this Close Encounters because what you're going to see in this video footage that was submitted by Josh, you're going to see objects come into the field of view of the ISS live cam that are so close they look like they're within a few feet of the space station, nearly colliding with the International Space Station. But first, over here at the homepage of the website, quick look at the GOES X-ray flux at the Space Weather Prediction Center, and you can see in the last couple of hours, we've had a large solar flare that was detected by the ionosphere, sent out a interplanetary shock wave that created radio blackouts above North America. Coming over here to spaceweather.com, the large solar flare was officially a M96, but as they say in this article over here at spaceweather.com, if it hadn't have been behind the southeastern limb of the sun, and right there's the solar flare, it probably would have been measured as an X flare, and being tucked in behind the southeastern limb of the sun, it camouflaged some of its energy potential. So right now it's officially a M96, but more than likely, as they even say in the article here, it was probably an X-class solar flare that sent a shockwave through the solar system and created radio blackouts above North America. So a very large, powerful solar flare that may have a CME component to it, but it's too early to tell as this just happened a few hours ago. And looking at the Earth-facing side of the sun video by Scott out of Shelton, Connecticut. This is from this morning, May 16th of 2023, and you can see the Earth-facing sunspots right there in the center of the sun, coming over here to the southeastern limb of the sun where the large solar flare just occurred. The active regions and sunspot that produced the very large solar flare are tucked in right back there. They haven't quite turned towards the Earth yet, but they will here in the next 24 to 48 hours. Hopping over to the Yellowstone supervolcano caldera, looking at the seismographs that monitor the mighty supervolcano. A little bit of activity up here in the northwestern quadrant. Hebgen Lake showing some earthquake activity, and that's the location of the largest earthquake ever recorded at Yellowstone, a 7.2 back in 1959. But other than that, there's some earthquake activity over there, up here in the northeastern entrance. A little bit of magma intrusion throughout the caldera, but other than that, nothing major going on at the supervolcano. Quick look at the earthquake swarm up in Northern California. No longer a swarm at this point. There's been a few earthquakes here in the last 24 hours. I'm showing 4 here on this map. The orange circles represent earthquakes above 2.0, and there's been 4 in the last 24 hours. So things slowing down a little bit in Northern California. The wildfire smoke is not slowing down at all in Canada. In fact, they've issued a air quality alert for the area. You can see a photo here from downtown Calgary. The sky is just straight up orange. The smoke is very thick. I've received a couple of photos that I want to share with you guys from the area. This article here is dated May 16th of 2023 today, and the air quality index is on a scale from 0 to 10, and right now it's at a 10 plus. And here's a view of the smoke from Zoom.Earth looking down from space, and you can see the smoke plume extends all the way from British Columbia to Boston and beyond, and many places in between. There's Calgary where they have the air quality alert, but look at the smoke going down through Winnipeg, down into the Dakotas, Minnesota, Wisconsin, goes right through Lake Michigan and Michigan, where Mary Hall is at, right there, goes through Toronto, and then, of course, all the way over to Boston, and then out into the Atlantic Ocean, spanning well over 2,000 miles. And I have a couple of photos from right here, ground zero in Calgary, where the air quality is a 10 plus today. And this photo was taken this morning by Don Kay out of Calgary. The smoke was so thick, the sun looked like a little dot in the daytime sky. Here's another photo that was submitted from Alberta, Spruce Grove, Alberta. Photo sent in by David, and you can see the smoke once again, very, very thick in Alberta. So the wildfires continue. throughout Canada right now as I do this video. And I want to take you guys first back to Shelton, Connecticut. This video was submitted by Scott. He took this video on May 14th, and if I didn't, I apologize. This is clearly out of focus. I thought I mentioned that in the video yesterday. If I didn't, again, I apologize. Yes, that is highly out of focus, but that wasn't necessarily what drew his attention to this star. It was the color, it being pink. And as it turned out, last night from right out here in Scottsdale, Arizona, Anthony saw a pink star in the nighttime sky on May 15th of 2023 from right out here in Arizona. Here's a look at the photo that was submitted by Anthony from Scottsdale, and you can see other stars up in the sky that are clearly white, and then he noticed this pink one right there, and that's what compelled him to take this photo. He shared it with me, and I'm sharing it with you guys. That's why Scott took the video of the pink star that he noticed from Shelton, Connecticut. Here's another pink star from right out here in Scottsdale, Arizona. Thank you, Anthony. Greatly appreciate that. Now I want to revisit this video of this fiery object in the sky that yesterday when I presented the video to you guys, I wasn't sure of the location. I thought maybe it could have been a rocket going up into the air, but as it turns out, this video was taken out of northern Indiana on May 13th of 2023. The video was taken by James, and he didn't know what this thing was. Again, northern Indiana. This is nowhere near Florida, so this is definitely not a rocket. Some sort of a fiery object. At least it looks fiery. It may not be, but right here it's going across the sky horizontally, then it turns vertical right there, then it goes backwards right there, and then as it continues on, it kind of goes out and disappears. So have no idea what that was. There's a couple of modified views, but this was above northern Indiana, which makes it even more interesting because that tells us that was not a rocket, whatever that was, in the nighttime sky above northern Indiana. I want to take you guys now up to the International Space Station. Video footage submitted by Josh from the ISS live cam. It goes back to February of 2023 as the space station was above Queensland, Australia. And as you can see, the ISS was above Queensland, Australia at the time this video footage was taken. Goes back to February 13th, just a few weeks ago of 2023. Watch closely. You're going to see right there a high-speed object come eerily close to the space station. So I'm going to give you an even better look right here. I'm going to slow it down, zoom in, and it still looks like it's going incredibly fast. That was in slow motion. So what I had to do was slow it down even more. Here we go. Watch how close this thing comes. Look at that. Looks like it comes within a few feet of the International Space Station, and there it goes. Still looks like it's going incredibly fast. So that was the first one that Josh noticed, again, as the space station was above eastern Australia. Watch the right side of the field of view here. You're going to see an object really quick right there. If you blinked, you would have missed it. So this one here, like the previous one, I'm going to slow it down, zoom in close. This one here nearly hit the space station. Check this out. Look how close that came. Are you serious? Looked incredibly fast. I slow it down even more. Watch this. Look how close that comes. That looks like it comes within 100 feet of the space station. Okay, now you're going to see 4 in a row. These are at original speed. The first one's already gone through. There went the second one, there went the third one, and there went the fourth one. All within a matter of about 5 seconds. So what I'm going to do with these, like I did the previous ones, slow them down, zoom in on them individually. This is the first one right here. Just came out of nowhere. Just incredible speed. This one too came very, very close. I mean, eerily close to the space station. I don't know what these things are. I don't remember ever seeing things like that this close to the space station. Here's 2 more that got very close, and these were also moving at an incredibly high rate of speed. Check those out. The first one being faster than the second one. I also zoomed and slowed it down, and even when I slowed it down, it was still fast. Check that out. What in the world are those things? And Mary Hall, who monitors the space station like a hawk, she doesn't miss a thing up here when it comes to the space station. She's always seen fleets of white mysterious objects above Earth. In fact, I'm going to share some of her new videos here in a couple of days, but she's also noticing more and more of these white mysterious objects above the Earth, and some of them, as you can tell by this video footage right here, are getting super close, uncomfortably close to the International Space Station. And speaking of space, you guys are in for a treat here. This is an image that was taken by S. Jacobs from South Carolina. And here's the famous Orions Belt. We've all seen that in the nighttime sky. Here's the nebula down below Orions Belt. Here's a close-up view he took with his telescope again from South Carolina. Check that out. That is absolutely beautiful. I mean, it just doesn't get much better than that. Here's his equipment that he uses. Here's the Vixen that I've talked about in his photos that he's submitted here recently. He's definitely got the equipment to reach out there and see some of the amazing things in the nighttime sky that we wouldn't normally be able to see. And again, he took this himself with that equipment right there from South Carolina. He is very talented, and I really appreciate the photos that he sent in recently of the Whirlpool Galaxy, and then Orion's Belt here, and then the nebula, and then the stars in the background here that look like diamonds in the sky. Great job. Really appreciate that. If you guys have any photos you'd like to share, you can send those to reports@mrmbb333.com. And if you guys have any videos you'd like to share that are too large to attach to the email, come over here to the homepage of the website, look for this red tab that says Have a Large Video. Simply click on the red tab, drag and drop your video into the red banner. Please include your first name, date, and location, and I'll take it from there. Thanks for watching. Have a super day, and be safe out there.